Howdy hackers, Ian from Eurogamer here once again with more Watch Dogs info for you, straight from the flapping mouth holes of a couple of the game's developers, Jonathan Marin and Thomas Jeffroyd. The two main organisations in the game, Dedsec and Blume, are opposing forces, but neither could really be described as good or evil. In fact, many of their morals lie in a rather grey area. So, first up, could you guys give us the lowdown on the hacker group Dedsec and their role in the game?
DeadSec is really great. They have their own motivations. They are outside organizations from Aiden Pierce. The DeadSec group is part of our way of making sure that we built a Chicago that is not a single-story city. Would have been terrible to play a game like Watch Dogs where everything and everyone talks about what surrounds Aiden Pierce. Like it's not believable. So we wanted to be careful, and if we created a group of hackers, it had to be mysterious, hard of access, which means you might not hear that much about all the details of DeadSec in the entire game. You will touch on the mysteries, you will see certain characters that are bound to them, but we need to respect the privacy of those groups, and they are really good at it to make sure that the image is one thing, the truth is another thing, and all of that. So DeadSec is kind of gray in the entire game. They have relationships and perceptions towards Blume, the one who created the CTOS, and also they have their own take on the phenomenon that is Aiden Pierce in the city during the game. But how much of that phenomenon and their interpretation of it you're going to get access to will probably be proportionate to how deep you want to dig in the game.
Also, I think DeadSec is very interesting as a character, I would say, in the game, because this is really the opposite of what Blume and CTOS are. Blume is the institutional power, which is very heavy. It moves slowly. On the opposite side, you have DeadSec, which is, I would say, a little inspired by Anonymous or LulzSec. These are very agile. They take the technology and they don't have, they don't have PR, they don't have laws to follow. Sometimes they don't even have ethics. So they're very agile and they can harness a power that's laying on the table. So this creates a good tension between Blume and a group of people that are just harnessing the power of technology, just like Eden does. So we have this contrast between institution and people using technology in very different ways, and Hayden being in the middle of it and trying to make his way throughout the constraints, but also the advantages he can gain from both, because obviously he gains advantages from using the CTOS in Chicago, but he also has some apps that are coming directly from DeadSec. So he's some kind of an opportunist in terms of power and how we harness it, and that's really the hacker way, is let's find the fastest and most direct solution to a problem, be it sexy or not. It works, and it doesn't involve a lot of resources.
Okay guys, next up, can you tell us about Blume? They seem like they should be the overarching corporate bad guys of the game, but it's not as clear cut as that, is it?
Blume is not your, I often say, like, we wanted to avoid the syndrome of the B-movie type of bad guy. Like, very early we were talking about this, and I was really strict at saying, it's like saying you make a movie where all of Google is evil and they want to control the world. Like, that's not how human beings and organization works. There's a lot more to human motivations and collective motivations of all the people involved that shapes a company. So Blume is kind of our version of Google, if you want. They have their own research that is going on. They have CTOS as one of their successful products, but they have other stuff going on as well. And as you dig into the game, you will get a glimpse of that. You will also get a glimpse of figures of Blume, people who talk for them, deal with the PRs, hear about some potential corruption that might have gone there. But are we saying, is Blume the next, like Resident Evil company or anything like that? Hell no. That's really not where we're going. We want to really establish more the impact of evolution and technology on our society with Watch Dogs, which has to include finance, businesses, and we have to be extremely careful on how we treat it. The last thing we want to do is insult people's intelligence, and we kind of put the bar really high because we are promising a universe that's credible. It's fine to be light and simple when that's clear that what you're announcing. That's clearly not what we're announcing. So Blume is not evil corporation. They are a lot more sophisticated than that.
Everybody can do whatever they want with technology. Big corporations are so huge now, and there are so many different parts of it. Not a single company has a motto is "we do evil." And I'm not back quoting Google, but you can have sometimes a person within the company that tries to manipulate things for how would I put that, non-virtuous purpose. So this is how we wanted to depict this huge company. Also, early in the process, we've been compared to cyberpunk, and this is not what we are. Cyberpunk has had a very strong trope about this huge corporate evil against the human, the individual hero, and this is something we always wanted to get away from, just because it has been used to the rope, but also because this is not the reality of today, and we thrive on making things as they are and making people understand or just realize that technology is more complicated than an idea or the magical feel of what you can do with it and what they can do with it, be it corporate or governmental.
According to little Easter eggs in Assassin's Creed 4, Blume and Abstergo Entertainment are doing business, or at the very least are aware of each other. Are there any more Easter eggs to find regarding this relationship in Watch Dogs?
That's us having fun. They are no. It's not like Assassins and Watch Dogs are the same universe or anything like that. But I'm a big fan of not pretending that we are the one who define what Watch Dogs universe is entirely. Games is about, it's about filling the gaps sometimes. I'm a huge fan of this feeling of wonder when you play a game. I love playing Minecraft with my kids because I look at how my kids create their own modes and rules with the game. So creativity is part of their experience. So, profiling is part of that. Like, you look at a person, you have a bunch of information, you have a context, and players fill the gaps of what's not there, creating their own story. I think that adding glimpses, Easter eggs tied in with our friends on Assassin's Creed is a nice way to explore narratives, different dimensions, and see how people take it. I would never spoil any intent on that regard. Instead, it's a lot more interesting to go fishing.
And go fishing we will, Jonathan. Those Easter eggs will be ours. Thanks for watching, friends. We have more exclusive Watch Dogs interviews coming up here on Eurogamer's YouTube channel, so make sure to click on that on-screen annotation and subscribe for those and many, many more video features and interactive live streams. There's blooming loads of cool stuff. See what I did there? Blooming? Blume? Because the company Blume? Because, yeah. Oh.
It feels wrong. This isn't your home, but it can be.